Well, I didn't want to have to make this announcement, but the time has come. Ben Affleck is now officially out of the DCEU. Hey everybody, it's Marshall Monkey here, and that's right, we have to talk about Ben Affleck leaving the DCEU officially, what this means for Matt Reeves' The Batman movie, which is coming out in 2021. Just got the official release date. I think it's July 21st, 2021. I'm not really for sure on that, so don't quote me there. But yes, Ben Affleck has officially left the DCEU as the Batman. Now, what does this mean for Matt Reeves? Well, that means that Matt Reeves is going to go his route with his original idea for the movie, which is a younger Batman storyline in a noir-type detective film. Now, we're going to talk about that and what that means in a minute and how I feel about it personally. But first, I want to talk about Ben Affleck leaving the DCEU. I'm truly, truly sad to lose Ben Affleck. I know a lot of people were really mixed on him at the beginning, but I feel like a lot of people came around to his Batman, especially in Justice League, even though that movie didn't do so well. I think Batman was really one of the main parts of the movie that actually felt solid, in my opinion, and I really am going to miss him. I feel like he embodied everything that was Batman, especially from the Arkham series. I feel like he, had a lot of traits in his Batman, at least in Batman v Superman, that resembled some traits with Batman and Bruce Wayne towards the end of the Arkham franchise, right? So I was really sad to kind of hear this news of him leaving because it kind of breaks my heart a little bit because we had so many opportunities with him. We could have had an Arkham-style Batman movie with Ben Affleck and the script that he wrote that has Joe Manganiello's Deathstroke as the main villain, which we'll talk about in a second because I feel like we need to compare both scripts from Reeves and Affleck, respectively. So yeah, it is really sad to lose Ben Affleck as Batman. I think that the problem with Matt Reeves' movie is that with going with a younger approach to Batman, how are you really going to tie that in with the Justice League later on? I know that this is all for his movie, but it has to tie into the DCEU, because if it doesn't, then what's the point? I mean, I guess they could do like what they did with Joker, right? The Joker movie that's coming out with Joaquin Phoenix, and they're going to do another separate one with Jared Leto. But I just feel like with Batman, that's such a waste of time. With Joker, it's awful. But, I mean, it's Joker, right? So here it's like with Batman, really? Having two Batmans? I don't know. So I think that really approaching it like that is just not a very good idea. I just don't really see an Ezra Miller aged actor as Batman standing next to Gal Gadot and possibly Henry Cavill. It's just not a very good idea. So, with Matt Reeves' movie being a noir detective film, which, by the way, detective movies are really hard to pull off. So I don't know if Matt Reeves is up to that yet. And he sure is taking a lot of time to make sure the script is perfect. But what this means is, I think that having the Penguin as the main villain, which is rumored, and having a younger Catwoman, because that's also been rumored, is, how are you going to make that make sense with what we have so far in the 20 years storyline? Remember in BVS, Batman said that it was 20 years in Gotham that he's been there. So will that mention that? Will that play into that at all? And will that leave a cliffhanger from that movie to do the sequel? And will the sequel be a present day? It's really interesting. I am interested into that, the detective side of Batman and really what's going on with that, but how is that going to correspond to the DCEU as a whole? And one of the things that I loved about Ben Affleck's script, because we're comparing them, by the way, just again, is that Ben Affleck's script with Deathstroke as the main villain, right, with Joe Manganiello. I feel like that would have been a really good lead up to Justice League 2, which was supposed to be, I don't know if they're going to do it now, Legion of Doom. And I actually mentioned that in my DCEU chapters video. You can go check that out. It's the trailer page, or on the trailer for the front page of my YouTube channel. But that had Deathstroke, and it was planning something bigger. I feel like that's what Ben Affleck was really good at, is playing into the idea of the DCEU. And he really felt like as if he was Batman and really making the story up as he went along in his image, whereas now Matt Reeves is doing that. And we can't blame Matt Reeves because, of course, even though Matt Reeves wanted to do a younger Batman story for a long time, really make the character his own, we can't blame him because, of course, Ben Affleck has been having trouble with the role after the backlash that he's been getting and being bullied from the role, but also just his personal life. I think he really needs to take a seat back. He's had some trouble last year with his sobriety, and I feel like I'm rooting for him to get better, so maybe this is a good thing for Ben. But again, what I would suggest to do if they want to do a younger Batman story, but still possibly revisit Affleck in the future, or a different actor, again, John Hamm has been campaigning for the role, is I would make this story, a past story, and then I would cast an older Batman actor for the present day and have the younger one resemble him physically, like his looks, and then jump back and forth and do time jumps. That's what I would do if they really want to make this connected to the DCEU. I mean, Wonder Woman has time jumps, but of course she's immortal, so it makes sense why she looks that way. So what if you just do the same thing, but with a younger actor that looks like the present day actor, whether it be Ben Affleck or Jon Hamm or whoever, and that way you can have all of it connected together. I am excited for Matt Reeves to approach this, though. I think that it's time for another Batman movie. We won't be getting it until 2021, but I mean, it's better than not getting one at all. I just wish Ben Affleck would have been able to stay a part of the DCEU. He is still producing this movie, which is, again, why I say that he could approach the role later in the future to do a time jump kind of storyline. I mean, they did it with The Godfather, right? There was 2 different actors there, which included De Niro, right? So, and now we know him as, of course, Robert De Niro. So I think that Ben Affleck could totally take on the same type of job, right? So what do you guys think? I mean, are you okay with Ben Affleck not being in the DCEU anymore? Who would you want as a younger version of him or Jon Hamm or any kind of actor to play Batman? And how do you think it's going to correspond? How do you think it's going to fit into the DCEU? Or should it not fit? I'd love to hear your comments down below. There's a lot to talk about when it comes to who's going to be playing the next Batman character. And should Matt Reeves really be the one directing this thing? Let's be real here. I mean, I'm excited, but what about you guys? What do you think? Don't forget to comment down below. Don't forget to like and favorite this video and subscribe, and I will see you guys later for some more videos. Bye-bye.